seems like our society today is even more politicized and polarized than ever. No matter what the issue is, whether it's education, environment, law enforcement, even how to deal with the pandemic, there's all these radical opinions that are being presented. And the media just amplifies all of these things. They delight in taking two radical positions and staging big arguments. And of course, we all have a tendency towards a confirmation bias. We like to see things we agree with. So we'll tune to the channel or listen to the media source that mostly agrees with us, just confirming our opinion. We hear the same things, reinforcing, and that feels good. We like to be right. I like to be right. I like to think, oh, there's an expert that agrees with me. The trouble is, issues really are rarely that way, that they're not just either or right or wrong. Most issues are more nuanced than that.
Being a part of the bridge building courses taught by Frank, it was such a powerful tool for me, equipping me, especially for the work that I do in the educational equity arena, to really be able to come to the table to learn more about how I can be a better conduit in building bridges, especially for tough conversations such as race, culture.
One of the activities was to talk about racial injustice. So we began to discuss the story about Trayvon Martin. I distinctively remember a Latina woman who began to share her thoughts, and what she said, or what I should say, what landed on my ears was, I don't understand what all the commotion was about. The reason why I was challenged with that was because it sounded as if she didn't care about what happened to Trayvon Martin. I immediately felt heat rising, and at that time, I clearly was not the only one with a hearing problem at that moment, because there were 4 to 5 other Black women standing with me, and we immediately assumed the posture. Arms folded, head cocked to the side, and we became fixated on her. I wasn't listening to what she said, because that's not what she said. I was being carried away with my emotions and my feelings.
Being able to have the teachings of the classes, I'm feeling much more comfortable in the sessions where we have the students and really having these challenging conversations about race and culture.
I think that we need to all be aware that everyone has a unique grid through which we look and meet people. And when I have taken bridge building, I was aware that everybody's grid is different, generationally, ethnically, nationally. And so we need to understand that. And I learned quite a bit from that.
Yes, what she said.
I may have a very strong opinion, and it may have some truth in it, but you may have an equally strong opinion that has some other truth in it. We'll never know that unless we talk. And if I only talk to people that think and act and have the same life experience I do, I'll never learn anything.
I was able to learn tools for conflict resolution, particularly when something someone says that I may not necessarily agree with, to be able to take a seat back and be able to actively listen and learn effective communication skills so that I can respect, have a greater appreciation, and embrace someone who has a different lived experience than myself.
And she said, I had not followed the story of Trayvon Martin closely, so I didn't realize or understand all what was going on. And so from that, I realized that I was constantly in my feelings and in my emotions, and I should not be that way. Because when you are led by your feelings and in your emotions, it alters your hearing.
Coming from a Black church where there wasn't different races and cultures, I really didn't have the vocabulary, but I would say that the classes have really provided me with the tools and the courage and really the language to be in these spaces of diverse persons and be able to navigate the challenges that we face as trying to live together and be bridge builders.
It's been instrumental, big word, in my work environment. It has allowed me to see people from where they are, how they got here.
Bridge building with Frank Eastham opened my eyes up to prejudice I had as a young kid that I was instilled from my father. What I got from the class is having conversation, even when that conversation is difficult. You take something away and you learn from it and you grow, because that's what God's making it difficult. You don't feel comfortable, but you need to grow. And that's why I got out of the bridge building class.
I've made an intentional decision to try to have more good conversations with other people who aren't exactly like me, who have a different life experience, maybe of a different race, a different culture, a different way of looking at things, a different political party, whatever it is. Try to have a good conversation, honest discussion, civil discussion, where we listen to each other.
So that was very sobering for me, because I thought I was a pretty easygoing person and could talk to anybody about anything, but I was not creating a safe place for people to be able to have difficult and challenging conversations without feeling like they were going to get blasted by me. So I took on some spiritual disciplines to help me temper my emotions and to be present in the conversation so that we can gain understanding and grow with one another. So from that class, I became a safe place to have these challenging conversations. And that's in that context, because if you come for my children, you get what you get.
I'm better equipped now to build those bridges for a harmonious cross-cultural exchanges.
I don't want to be mad at half the world. I don't think that's what Jesus intended for me. I don't think that's part of loving my neighbor. So through these conversations, I think it will benefit me. It will make me happier, and it will improve my mental health, and hopefully in some small way it'll contribute to resolving some of these complex problems that we all face together.